Welcome to Thursday Tips, a bi-weekly series from JGIR. I am Julie Silber, Managing Partner at JGIR, and as always, I'm excited to bring this series to you. Today we're going to start with a three-part series on the company or corporate presentation. During this first episode in the series, we will go over the top 5 tips for creating a powerful presentation. A company or corporate presentation is a vital tool in your investor relations toolbox. You will use this document more than any other document in many ways, in different scenarios, and for different audiences. First impressions are key. You don't get a second chance to make a good first impression, and your company presentation is no exception to this rule. The company presentation is often the first thing in connecting with important stakeholders. It lays the groundwork for further discussions in meetings and other objectives. To truly be powerful and effective, every presentation needs a professional/corporate look that is very consistent with your company's overall branding. Take a look at your existing company's presentation. Is it consistent with your company's branding? Does it match your website? If not, you need to tailor the fonts, color schemes, and visual language to match your corporate identity, meaning it should match all materials that you have publicly disclosed, either through marketing materials, press releases, live calls, and your corporate website. Establishing a consistent, meaningful, and clean design will help you make a lasting impression on potential investors and other important stakeholders. In addition, high-quality images are a must. Headshots of key team members and the board of directors should be consistent and match the layout and composition. Keep the design of your company presentation timeless, elegant, and appealing. Avoid overwhelming your audience with clutter. Tip 2, the 25-minute rule. Your audience's time is precious. Most investors, bankers, and analysts are pressed for time, and as a result, attention spans can be very short. It is essential to keep your company presentation short and to the point. Studies have proven that during a presentation, attention levels drop sharply after just 15 minutes. Moreover, your audience will be grateful that you valued their time. Allot a maximum of 20 to 25 minutes for the entire presentation. This will leave 5 to 10 minutes for Q&A. This is a nice rule of thumb to follow. Tip 3, structure. What belongs in a professional company's presentation? We have developed an outline that covers the basics of what should be included in your company presentation and how it should be structured. This is a suggestion based on years of experience, feedback, and results. If you would like a copy of this outline, feel free to email info@jgir.com and we'll be happy to send it to you. Just remember, it's a general outline that we're discussing today, not industry specific. We do have industry specific presentation structure outlines as well. Feel free to ask. In the meantime, here are the basic details on this slide. Tip number 4, knowledge is power. It's important to tailor your presentation to your audience. That seems like a no-brainer, right? Well, not all investor audiences are the same, and your presentation should take this into consideration. We suggest having a slide library so that you can easily pull the slides you need depending on the audience. A large retail investor conference may not be the right venue to discuss scientific results in minute detail. On the other hand, specialist investors in your sector may want a much deeper dive into your technology, and your presentation should support this. This is true for one-to-one meetings as well. Is the person across the table from you a generalist or a specialist? Are they an analyst? Are they from a family office? Or are they a high net worth individual that has a specific interest in something that you're doing? Knowing your audience is incredibly important if you want to present your company in the best light possible, to be better understood and to create future value for your stakeholders. Of note, the company presentation on the website should contain all the slides that have been shared publicly. In this instance, your audience is everyone, and the presentation you post should adhere to the best practices and fair disclosure regulations. Tip number 5. Convince with more than just words. The presentation design needs to be just as convincing as the content. Most presentations we see consist of 70 to 80% text, but bullet points and sprawling text alone aren't enough to make an impact. Visuals, visuals, visuals. We cannot stress that enough. Transform your words into an impressive visual that gets your point across. The design process begins when you stop focusing on writing statements and start creating a presentation that supports your content visually. Here's a good rule of thumb. 50% of your slide area should be text, and 50% of your slide area should be images, graphs, and/or charts. Obviously, you don't have to follow this rigidly, but presentations with rich visual content are always a success. The most important thing is to keep written content short. Keywords and short sentences are usually enough. Our final word on today's subject is about your investor relations officer and how they need to be the master keeper of this information. Yes, we have talked a lot about consistency, but this point is slightly different. We know that many different staff members and department heads are contributing to and reviewing the corporate presentation. This is absolutely essential in order to keep company information up to date and accurate, but it could also add challenges. This again is where having an IRO is essential. Not only should your IR person be responsible for creating and editing this presentation, they should be the one to coordinate with all the contributors, keep the integrity of the design, language, and your corporate identity intact. Once your IRO is satisfied with the overall look and content of the presentation, it's time to review and edit with your CEO. After all, it's the CEO who will be presenting the company presentation the most, and getting that person's insights is very, very important. With that, this takes us to the next topic for next time, effective public speaking. We hope you found this Thursday Tips insightful and informative. If you have a question that you would like us to address on our Thursday Tips segment, feel free to email us at info@jgir.com. See you next time.